if people had they had trust in you, if they felt confidence that you, Mr. Luxon, were going to have this shining light on the hill that was New Zealand, it was going to be the best little country in the world and you were going to turn it around, then they wouldn't be going anywhere. So what Jenny May is about to ask, which is the perfectly good question, is in 6 months, how is this country going to be any better to stop this flood of New Zealanders going off to Australia? And that's kind of where we pick up this conversation.
72,000 New Zealand citizens left the country last year. So I want to go back to that net migration loss, 47,100 New Zealand citizens. That was the largest on record in a calendar year. So what's going to change in the next 6 months that would convince people to stay here in Aotearoa?
Yeah, so when you look...
Now remember what she's asked is, she's asked for specifics. What's going to change? So what we want to hear from Mr. Luxon is some examples of the kinds of things that are going to change.
The number of Kiwi citizens coming in, Jenny May, from overseas, and then those that are leaving.
Sorry, but first he has to explain the numbers again. He's just doing that. That's what he's doing now. He's explaining the numbers.
Where you get to the net 47,000, up about 4,000 over the Labor government.
He literally said that exact thing a minute ago. He even said that up 4,000 from the last Labor government. So he just explained it again, just in case we didn't miss it from 60 seconds ago.
What we've got to do is, as I said, build the economy, rebuild the economy.
Yep.
But there are some really...
Yeah, that's a headline, build the economy. Examples, please.
Encouraging signs. If you think about it, just what we've started to see is, agriculture's doing well, tourism's doing well. For the first time, we've seen manufacturing grow.
Humanities and the arts, tourism, Chewie.
We've seen our services grow across our...
Yeah, but what's going to change? What's going to be different in 6 months? What you're saying is what's in the past. What's going to be new to keep people here?
Economy, which is all good. Now, that's all good signs because it means that there's more money coming into the system, more money being spent in our economy, which actually powers up jobs and puts money into people's pockets.
Oh, really?
Powers up jobs? Is that CEO speak sneaking in? Powers up jobs.
So good at this.
Powers up jobs.
So good at it.
You've seen mortgage rates, average mortgage rates fall for the first time over the last 2 months. You've actually started to see wages for the last 5 quarters being greater than the cost of things going.
Still looking for the examples of what's going to be different in 6 months. Like, you're talking about stuff now, and that's fine, but we want you to get to the question, which is what's going to be different. Like, talk about next, what's happening next.
Wages have been going up faster than inflation. So that's a good thing. That means net, people actually have more money in their back pocket. But it is still tough. There is a real challenge around the cost of living. And that's why we've got to grow the economy so we can deal with the cost of living.
Did I miss the answer, Chewie?
No.
I was talking a bit there. Did he give some specific and exacting details about what would be different in 6 months? Or was it just word salad, finish? I mean,
you couldn't get away with this in school. Like if you're asked to do like a book report and you just randomly just spew nonsense, you'd be kept after school. Christopher, see me after school. You don't get to go home until you've answered the question. It's a pity that breakfast obviously can't do this. Like, we're just going to keep on dumping segments and ad breaks until you fucking answer the question.
Yeah, give us some specifics about it. Maybe there's another question though. Let's see if it comes back to it.
And that's what we're focused on doing.
Yeah, and not only are Kiwis leaving, but immigration is also slowing. Right?
I wonder if Mr. Luxon could explain the numbers again now. That would be useful.
Right, so we had 133,000 people leave New Zealand last year. So even foreigners don't want to stay in this country. Is this a sign that New Zealand is becoming a less attractive place for people to live?
Yeah, Jenny, I'll just say on the stats, there's 2 parts to, I think, in this conversation to keep in mind.
Explain
One
the
is
numbers.
Net migration, which is all the people coming in, the inflows, and all the people leaving, was 127,000, very, very high, too high actually for our infrastructure and for what we were needing.
Well, unless you did like things like build hospitals and stuff, then it wouldn't be. That's the point. You're right, it is too high because no government, you guys included, have done anything for the last 20 years. If you had stayed on top of it and not done all these tax breaks and not had all the councils not raise rates, then we probably would have the infrastructure for it, but we don't. And that needs to be laid at the feet of all the politicians, all the political parties and all the councils.
It's come back just to 27,000, what's called net migration. Then you're right, within the New Zealand citizens, the net number of citizens coming into the country, going out to the country is at 47,000.
I just want to say thanks to Christopher Luxon for explaining the numbers for at least a third time.
up about 4,000 over the previous year.
4,000
so
again.
That's the...
Like he literally said 4,000 again, that he said 60 seconds ago and then 60 seconds before that.
Reality of it. We still need to make sure that we have good an ability to attract capital, great talent, great people that can come to New Zealand to do the jobs that we need to, that can add to New Zealand, that want to live here, that want to make a contribution. And I just say, I'm constantly inspired by our New Zealanders. I mean, they leave their countries, they leave their language, their family, their culture behind. They come to New Zealand and man, they work hard. They take one job, two jobs, three.
He's talking about refugees and he's saying they take one job, two jobs, three jobs. And he's saying that like it's a good thing. We played Bill Burr last night. They said, how fucking dare any economy have someone have a full-time job and then have to get another job just to pay for their existence? Mr. Luxon is literally... Mr. Luxon...
Put two jobs. Uber Eats driver.
Put it this way. Refugees get taken advantage of in the workplace. Often language isn't the best. Often they don't know where to go to get advocacy. And what you're about to hear the Prime Minister of our country say, right, he's going to say this, is that these New Zealanders, he's talking about immigrants, he's talking about refugees, he's talking about people who aren't necessarily English speakers, coming in here and working 3 jobs. He's saying that's a good thing. This Prime Minister is saying new people to this country, aren't they fantastic? They're working 3 jobs. How was that anything but horrific? Just have a listen to what he says.
Zealanders. I mean, they leave their countries, they leave their language, their family, their culture behind.
Okay, so he's not talking about white Australians. They leave their family, their culture, their language. That's not someone from Bondi. That's someone from Malaysia or Bangkok or Mumbai, right? That's what he's talking about.
They come to New Zealand and man, they work hard. They take one job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs to get a deposit for a house or a business, and they work incredibly hard.